So to understand the non-approach approach properly, we need to first address approach anxiety and where does it come from? What is the source? So can you talk about that a bit?
Yeah, I mean, it's all my years I've been doing this, it's still just about the number one thing that guys are struggling with. It's interesting because I've been doing like this dating coaching for like 12 years, or, lifestyle coaching. And in the last 12 years, there's a lot of people talking about the subject. It's been addressed in books and videos and courses and in all kinds of things, and how to overcome that and how to, blast through it anyway, and how to fake confidence and all this kind of thing. And but it hasn't really gone away. It's still the number one thing. And guys who have been coached for years have taken all kinds of programs. They still get that twinge here when they see an attractive woman standing over there, and they would like to have that urge. Their natural urge is to go and talk to her, is to go and like express themselves and say, "Wow, you look great." They can't do that because they're afraid of the ridicule, and they're afraid of being turned down. They're afraid that the number one thing is, or a large thing is, they're afraid that they have nothing to say, or they'll run out of something to say, or they're not funny enough, or they're not tall enough, or the subject has been addressed a lot, and so I think most people know that, or can deduce that our sense of approach anxiety from a woman who captures our spirit, captures our heart, comes from it comes from when we were a child, for instance, right? When we were a kid, and you saw the other kids playing, and you wanted to play too, and they said, "No, you can't play with us." Or the analogy I've been using for years is like, if you stay to a group of 4-year-olds, who here can draw? Every hand goes up. I'm the best. I'm the best drawer. I'm the best, right? Because you believed it at one point. You could sing. Who here can sing? Every kid's like, I can sing. I can sing. Pick me. Pick me. But at some point, you looked over another kid's drawing in school, say, or parents said, you need to smarten up and do something, productive, whatever. But you looked at another kid's drawing, and for the first time, you get that twinge here that maybe I can't draw so well, because you start to compare yourself, and we start to get that life starts to crowd in on us in our early formative years, as we know, and we start to get this sense that maybe it isn't that, and maybe I am not this, and maybe I'm not good at that, and maybe, and kids pick on us, and we're bullied or whatever, and we get into this mode that lasts with us our whole life, which we translate into our adult life is like, why, I could go talk to that girl, yeah, I could do it, but I'm not funny enough. Other people are funnier than me. Like my buddies, he'd have no trouble because he's funny. I'm not good looking enough. I'm not tall enough. She's, or she's probably got a boyfriend. She looks so beautiful. We have this giant set of assumptions we create, and it's about our self-worth. Yeah. So underneath all of these self-talk and these self-assumptions and phrasings we have subconsciously in our mind, that I'm not tall enough, I'm not good enough, or I'm not good looking enough, I'm not rich enough, I'm a broke student, these kind of things, or she's busy, or she probably has a boyfriend. Underneath all of that is the self-limiting belief that I'm just not good enough. Just not good enough. Yeah, I can get up my nerve, I can have a couple beers, I can, my buddy can prompt me, or I can read a book, but I don't feel it here. I don't feel that strength of conviction that I have what it takes to go talk to that woman, that girl. And so we walk up to her with that self-belief. And the way I've been saying it for years is, a woman doesn't have to reject us because we've already rejected ourselves. As we approach, we're already saying, she can say whatever. She can be the most sweet possible girl and say, it's so nice of you to come say that to me, but I'm engaged, for instance, right? I got engaged yesterday, and we will still turn around, walk away, say, yeah, I knew it. I'm not funny enough. I didn't engage her on an emotional level, We blame ourselves no matter what. And so, I mean, this is a theme that's been, we've been carrying our whole lives, which is we're just not good enough. And everybody has it. Even all of the seemingly super confident people you see. You know, you'll see a group of guys and girls at a party, and they're all like standing in the corner, and they're all laughing and with their white teeth and their cool outfits and stuff like that. And you think, wow, I wish I had the confidence of those guys. I wish I could be like them. They look like they're so at ease. But internally, those guys are thinking the same kind of thing that we're thinking, which is, oh, why did I say that? What an idiot. Wow, that was stupid. Why did I say that? They're internally thinking this. And the girls they're talking to are smiling, going like this with their hair, are thinking, oh, I shouldn't have had that garlic for lunch, and I don't feel fresh today, and he's coming too close to me, and the other girl's prettier than me. We all have it. So the whole idea is to recognize we have that. And we all have the sense that we're just not good enough, or that we're just faking the whole thing. How many of the guys who are watching this this course have that sense at their job, for instance? They're in a boardroom, or they're in a meeting, or they've got to come up with some solution to something in their job, and they're thinking, I'm making it up as I go. How can they not see that? It's so obvious to me. Because it's only obvious to us. And the whole idea is, you know, as I've been saying, if you could see yourself the way others see you, you'd be amazed. If you can see yourself the way others see you when you walk into a room, walk into a party, we think, oh, these clothes are ill-fitting, my hair's stupid. We have all this self-image of ourselves, which is the worst of anybody on earth. If you could see yourself the way others see you, you would be amazed. You think, oh, that's not so bad. But we can't. We have this crazy self-talk. So that's where it comes from.
Oh, that's profound. And can we move on to, can you talk about how men think that they have to create attraction and how that sabotages them?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, men have this concept that they can, is that the phrase? Men have this concept that they can somehow create attraction in a woman. And I don't think that's true. I mean, like, modern science now, you can look it up, is basically saying that the number one thing that we're attracted to the other person on is the smell, the chemistry. And there's just nothing you can do about that, you know? And it's someone's going to be attracted to your smell, and there's nothing they can do to be not attracted to you. There's something about you. Now, you can turn off a woman's intention or attracted to you by being an ass, for instance, or in all kinds of ways. You can make her go, well, you know, I'm attracted to that guy, but I'm putting on the brakes and I'm going to go do something else, right? For instance, by being too available, too needy. We know this, right? How many guys go on a first date with a girl? This is incredible. They go on a first date with a girl and she's excited to be there. They can feel it. They're laughing. She's laughing at his jokes, having a glass of wine, and he can feel, this is incredible. This girl, he feels this. She likes me, and we're having a good time. At the end of the day, he says, well, listen, you know, I had such a good time with you. Would you like to get together again on Thursday? And she says, I would love to. Give me a message, give me a call. And then he goes on a second date with her. And he's even more bubbly and more like excited because she was so excited and happy the last time. And is a little bit more distant this time, or it's kind of drifting a little bit. And he's going, wait a minute, did I say something too forward, or I don't know what I did? And he obviously he gets in this analysis mode, this self-guessing mode. And then the third date kind of is happening, and the fourth one, the fifth one, she's washing her hair, and her aunt's in town, and it drifts. And we call that woman a flake, right? And we think, well, that's just the way women are, because she misrepresented the way she was on the first date. She led me to believe that she was really having a good time, and maybe she just wanted a free meal, right? So we start blaming women. But what is happening there is this concept that she was genuine, and she was attracted to your smell. She said, yeah, I'll go on a date with you, because and so her response to your jokes and your stories on that first night were real. But the problem is that's all you're giving her is this nice guy story, jokey energy, and you never give her the sense of gravity of I'm also a man who's very attracted to you. Where this nice guy on a job interview, date with this girl to give her all her qualities so that she likes us. You see? And we don't ever give her that sense of, wow, this guy also wants me in a physical way, and he's got a great sense of mystique to him too. So they were just blathering, blather, blather, blather. So,
So would you say that guys talk themselves out of?
Yeah. I've been saying this for years. And this goes against a lot of the dating coaching out there, a lot of the things guys are reading. Rapport is for losers. We think that's the greatest thing. You think it's the greatest thing. You're at a house party and there's a girl sitting on the couch, and you manage to wrangle yourself over there and kind of self-invite yourself to sit down beside her, and you get into this conversation-y mode, right? Or you approach a girl and you get into, let's go for coffee, and you get into this kind of like conversational mode, which is, you think that's good because it's rapport. And so where did you go to university? And I think that kind of conversation kills it. That rapport, that shifts you automatically into this nice guy energy who's asking her about her pets and her sister, how many brothers and sisters you have, how long have you lived here in Bucharest, and I'm convinced that you can talk too much that way. I'm convinced of it. I mean, this is what this whole video course is about. Stop getting rapport so much. Stop sitting there and draining out your energy by sitting and trying to talk to the girl, and it gets awkward for both of you, starts to get distant, starts to fall apart. Maybe I'll tell a story about that. We have time, right?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, I'm going to tell the story. We did a coaching event years ago in Poland. And one of the guys was there. He was from France, and we'd met him earlier. But we were going to go out that evening with him. So it was like there's a couple of us guys, and so we said we're going to meet at this. There's a kind of a lounge where everybody kind of starts the evening out, and then they go next door to the bar, to the club. So it's kind of like at 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock. It's a loungy type of pre-drink type area, and there's a square bar in the center. So you walk into the door. Here's a square bar, and so Hans and I walked in, and we're going to meet our good friend. And he was across on the other side of the bar, facing towards us, but sitting down. And he was sitting on a bar stool, leaning on the bar like this. And there was a blonde Polish girl here, and two other Polish friends of hers. These three super pretty girls in sequin dresses. And they're sitting, and he's leaning forward like this with his glass, and she's coupled up with him, talking to him, looking at him, going, I can see the body language. I can't hear what they're talking about, but I can see it, right? And he's smiling and swirling his glass, with ice in his glass, and he's saying stuff that is suave and funny and all this kind of stuff, right? And she's smiling, oh, that's interesting. You can see that body language. These two are her friends. We're talking to each other, so there was no kind of like pull from the lone wolf or something, or the one who's left out. So there's kind of coupled up. He saw us standing over there, but he didn't want to break it. So he pretended he didn't see us. I saw him glance at us, and well, I don't want the guys to come over and ruin my set. So he basically just kind of like leaned in closer like this and was just kind of smiling and talking to her, and she was politely talking back and forth. Now anybody would see that and say, the guy's in, man. Just great. He got in there and he's sitting and having a drink with that girl, and he's in. And I said immediately to Hans, this is not good. It's not good. And he goes, oh, and observe. And sure enough, this is what happened.